What's going on, everybody? This is Zion Brock. I'm the songwriter and producer for fan fiction and the founder of the Triple Threat Artist Online Producer Course. Have you ever been in a position where you've written a great song and you know it's really good, but to get it, whenever you try to record it or when you try to produce it, it just doesn't sound that great, and you know the song has a lot more potential than what people are hearing, and maybe you're a little embarrassed to show it to people? Or have you ever tried to work with another producer or hired a producer and they're either pretty expensive or they're hard to get a hold of, or they don't know your baby like you know your baby meaning your song, and you really want them to believe in it, but they just don't believe in it the way you do. And you maybe watch people, other artists put out songs really quick and you're like, dude, do they have a producer just on standby putting stuff out? Or maybe you're somebody that likes to pitch for sync placements, or maybe you like to get yourself into songwriting contests, which a lot of songwriters do. And to do that, you need to be able to produce it well. Anyway, whatever scenario you're part of, you've probably found that producing your own songs is frustrating, and you think that only some people can do it. Only these left-brain people can do it. I get that. I have been there. I hear you. It's a common frustration, but I'm here to tell you that you can do it on your own. I spent 17 years of my life, actually more than that, learning how to produce. And for me, it was a grind. I had a full-time job, and it was just something I did on the side. And I wish I had a producer. I kept thinking, I'm going to find this producer that's going to just hear the potential of my music, and they're going to just love everything I do, and they'll be able to just make my stuff sound amazing, and I'll be their songwriter. And that just never happened. So I just had to learn how to produce my own music on my own, which was hard, but it's possible. And I'm here to tell you that you can do it. I ended up developing a framework as I went. As I sort of explored how to do this, I developed a framework and I created a class all around it. And I want to tell you a little bit about it. If you haven't watched my other videos, don't worry about it. I'm going to give a quick overview about it. So I broke up everything I've learned into 4 areas. I call it concepts, methodologies, disciplines, and gear. So the concepts is all about getting into what you have to do to produce a certain sound. To get a sound, to make sure it fits a genre, you've got to be able to know what elements you need and how to create that sort of texture or frequency spectrum to create that sound for that genre. The methodologies is the how to do it. So there's the what you need to do, and then there's the how you need to do it. You need to know how to use reverb. You need to know how to use a compressor. Those things are very, very vital to making a great sound, especially in today's world. You need to know how to comp and tune and time vocals really well. Those things are all part of the methodology. And then there's gear you need. You got to know the kind of gear that is required to make good sounds. And you don't have to spend thousands and thousands of dollars on gear anymore. If you know the right gear to get, you can save a huge amount of money. I probably spent $20,000 to $30,000 on gear over the last 17 years, and most of that I don't use anymore. Just kind of sad. But then there's also the disciplines, and disciplines is all about what you need to do, habits you need to develop, distractions you need to push away that are going to help you become a producer, somebody that can produce their own music. What I like to call a triple threat, a singer, songwriter, producer. Okay, so I built a framework and I built a class all about this. In that class, you've probably heard about this Red Zone production timeline. That's just one of the many disciplines that I offer in a class. You're going to learn a lot about learning how to produce and record in a room in your house and finding the best room setup for that. That means acoustic treatment. We're going to talk about the vocal chain, which is everything from the microphone to the computer, and how important the microphone, the preamp, the computer, the cabling, the acoustic space you're recording in, all that how that all comes together. Okay, we're going to talk a lot about producing vocals and all the different tricks, tuning, timing, comping vocals, stacking, gang vocals, all those types of things. We're going to get a lot into owning your DAW. So your DAW is your digital audio workstation, like Pro Tools or Ableton. It doesn't matter what DAW you have. I use Ableton, but a lot of my students use Pro Tools and Logic or Reaper or Studio One or Fruity Loops. There's a bunch of them. It doesn't matter, but owning your DAW and getting to where you're extremely comfortable in your DAW. Very, very vitally important. We're going to demystify synthesizers. That's something that I'm passionate about. There's a lot of tricks and things I learned over the years that actually aren't that hard with synthesizers. And when people first buy a synthesizer, whether it's virtual or one of these, a big analog synthesizer with a lot of knobs, it's very intimidating. But there's some basic concepts that apply to every synthesizer that you need to know. We're going to talk about drums, drum percussion, and recording both percussive elements and using virtual drums and saving a huge amount of money and not having to record a full drum set, which I'm not a fan of. It's way too complicated for recording in your bedroom at home. You can record incredible drums using virtual drum techniques, and I want to show you how to do that. It's a lot of fun. So we get into a lot of different stuff: effects, saturation, compression, reverb, delay, and then there's a bunch of little bonus courses as well in this. Not bonus, but just sort of like little extras. So sidechain compression and vocal chops and learning things like that. But one of the best things about this course is that it comes with an online community. So when you get this course right now, I'm going to throw in the online community. The online community allows you to connect with a lot of other producers. Some of them are brand new. Some of them are pros that are getting their music put into ads and TV right now. And they're people that you should get to know. It's through a Facebook group, so you'll be able to post songs that you're working on and get feedback. You're going to be able to ask questions whenever you have a question. You're going to be able to talk about new gear coming out. I jump in once a week and answer questions. I do a Q&A every single week. I offer new content, new stuff that's coming out. The community, in some people's mind, is probably more important than the class, but that's debatable. It depends on where you're at and what you need. I think the two of them hand in hand make a very powerful education. One of the biggest reasons I think this course is really helpful is because of the clarity it gives you. And that's very different from a lot of online courses that are out there. There's other producing courses out there, but I offer a lot of frameworks and disciplines that a lot of courses don't. Also, in every single lecture in this course, there's exercises that are going to challenge you to do, because that's where you're going to learn the most stuff, is doing it yourself. You could listen to me all day, but if you're not doing it yourself and applying it to your gear, your studio setup, you're not going to learn anything. So I push you to do that. I've got all these exercises, and we challenge each other to do that. Another thing is this community, having a community of people to ask any questions. There's no question that's dumb, environment where you can ask anything you want. And we really keep a really positive space in our community so that people aren't shaming each other in any way or putting each other down. They're listening and helping to build each other up, which to me is so vitally important. There's a lot of music forums out there, and if you go onto them and ask questions, you're going to get people ripping you apart for not knowing certain things. And this is not that space. This is a safe space for people like you to grow and to get more education, okay? So the cost of this is $57 a month. And that includes the online producer course, which is broken up into those methodologies, concepts, disciplines, and gear. And it includes full access to the Triple Threat community, where we do Q&As, I interview producers, we post songs, we talk about new gear coming out. We have an amazing time of motivating and encouraging one another. It's a very positive space. So $57 a month, that's about the price of going out to eat once or twice. I want to add something to this, though. Okay, so you're getting the course, you're getting the community. I'm going to add another thing. I want to add a bonus mini course on blogs and playlists. It's just a little mini course, but it's something that I'm offering only through this deal, this package deal right now that you're getting. And this mini course is all about helping you get your music blogged about on music blogs, something that I've had a lot of success in, and it's a lot of fun. It's really cool. So as a producer, oftentimes we have to do a lot of administrative stuff, and we kind of take on roles as like a music manager in a lot of ways and have to work on distributing the music and managing artists, things like that. This is just a tool in your arsenal of helping your music get blogged about, or your artists get blogged about, and helping you get into Spotify playlists. If you don't know much about Spotify, it's the biggest music platform right now in the world. And when you get your music into other people's playlists, it starts getting streamed, and it can exponentially go up in plays. And you can actually make money. You can make a living off of Spotify plays now. People are doing that. So I'm going to show you the techniques that I have learned to do that and show you the success that I've had. And I think you'll really enjoy this mini course. So I'm throwing this in as part of this package. Here's another thing to keep in mind. There's no risk to any of this. Because this is a month-to-month deal, you're not ever trapped in any kind of contract or installments or anything. So if after a few months you want to move on, that's totally fine. You can do that. You're not locked into anything. Okay. Most courses are going to require you to have these installments. I don't do that on this at all. The other thing is, if in the first 30 days you're not feeling like this course is for you, let me know and I'll give you your money back for that first 30 days. No questions asked. No risk. As this Facebook group really starts to fill up, I'm going to have to break it into another Facebook group because I want the Facebook group to be intimate. I want it to be something that people can really get to know each other. And if it gets too big, I'm going to have to split it off. And I want you to get to know the producers that are already in this course. There's some amazing, amazing people in there, and you need to be part of that. You need to know these people, okay? So last but not least, I'm going to throw in one more little mini course, a bonus. And this is all about blocking out your time. If you're like me, as a producer, you probably have to kind of become an artist manager sometimes also, especially if you don't have a manager specifically for your artistry. That means you have to promote yourself. That means you have to market yourself. You have to distribute your music. You got to make sure all the metadata is taken care of. You got to reach out to Pandora, Spotify, Apple Music, iTunes. You might want to get your stuff on Wikipedia, AllMusic, Discogs, all the different sites. It's a lot of stuff. Well, to do that, to manage all that and write music and produce your stuff, you got to have a strategy. I figured out a while ago on how to block out my time based on some other people's information. So I created a quick little mini course on how to do that. And I think it could be really helpful. So I'm going to throw that into this as well. The Triple Threat Bundle, let's review real quick. It's going to include the producer course, again, methodologies, disciplines, concepts, and gear. It's going to include the Triple Threat community, which is full access to the community, interviews, Q&As, get feedback on your songs, meet people, connections, collaborations. You're going to get the bonus course on blogs and playlists, Spotify playlists. And you're going to get another bonus course specifically on time blocking and managing your time. I would love to see you as part of this course. I would love to see some transformation happen in your life, which I've been fortunate enough to see in my life. I'd love for you to be a triple threat artist, singer, songwriter, producer. Come join us.